Hoshi here, and today I had the sudden urge to play Pokemon TCG Online. I used to play a lot of this. It's still around. This is a brand new account, so I've just finished the tutorial and played enough versus to get 500 coins with the starter deck, and now I'm going to go by my favorite deck. I would argue the best deck in the game. Other people would not argue that, I expect. But it's definitely up there. Relentless Flame. I love this deck. I own this deck in real life. I do have the code for it, of course, then. That I've not used because, again, it's only 500 coins. And I wanted to get through the first dozen matches or so just to clear the bots out, I hope. But I'm just going to play with this for a while. Do I have quests? Challenges, I believe they call them. I do, and it's very vague. So, it doesn't seem to matter what deck I'm using, because it's, again, brand new, so they're giving me all the easy stuff, but Relentless Flame is a Charizard deck, but the real star of the show is Nidoqueen. Rapidash wins games on its own, long before sometimes the other cards even get out, though. Yeah, the avatar making system in this is not the most robust. It's a very good digital representation of the trading card game, but I don't know, the art style's always seemed very not Pokemon to me. But I guess it isn't in the Pokemon world, it's people playing it. Now, can we live the dream of turn 2 Rapidash? Yes, we can. Am I going first? I wasn't paying attention at the start. I guess I'm not. Now, this game is mostly played with pre-constructed decks. They're all fairly balanced, actually, but I definitely really like Relentless Flame. There are other Charizard decks people play a lot. Lots of legendary focused decks. I haven't really seen much of the V Evolution or whatever they're called cards, but they do show up in the packs. We got a How, because I would like second energy. Perfect. I can attack, although it's not much point. This person is playing the the deck they start you off with for first day login. It's not a bad deck. Takes some getting used to, but once you do, it's pretty much based around Miltank, and you hold Gallade in the back, full of energy, until both your Miltanks are dead. But chances are you've cleared out half the opponent while you're at it. Alright, turn 2 Rapidash. Always the dream. Would be nice to have some other basic Pokemon out. We'll just do this because it'll finish off the opponent. And as a turn 2 move for 2 energy, 60 damage is great, but Agility's damage negation on a head flip like that, I can't be hurt by anything right now. And you can just flip heads 10 times in a row, and Rapidash will win the game before you can get anything else done. Or that, apparently he can do that to me. But retreat cost on Ponyta is only 1. And same on Rapidash. You can pop him in and out super easy. I really need some other basic Pokemon, though, just to be safe. And it feels like a shame to throw Charizard and Charmeleon back in the deck, but it's going to get me more. Either way, I get 6, so better use this now. We can actually evolve this Rapidash. Now, Farfetch'd is really just in here in case you don't pull anything else at the start to get card draw. But I feel like Farfetch'd could be replaced with something better, either to fulfill the same role as just first round, second round card draw, or do something else entirely. It's just a matter of finding something with a decent amount of health and uses colorless or fire energy. Toolbuster is very situational, and people don't really play attachment cards, I find, very often. And people just give up really easily, which is fair. Apparently in the hour or so since I downloaded and installed this, it's rolled over to a new day, so I get new daily rewards or win rewards. Maybe another time we'll use some of these tickets and play the event matches. I have just enough for the entry or theme deck, which is the same deal. We'll get more people with a lot of the same deck or some of the other higher tier decks. I feel like I always want to go first, but that's, you know, revolved around the turn 2 Rapidash. Now we actually got a Nidoran this time. Your goal is to work towards Nidoqueen, because Nidoqueen's ability just lets you draw things constantly. 2 Nidoqueens, and then a Brock to recycle everything that you've thrown away. Hopefully we'll get to that point. Just to demonstrate. Now, I don't have a Rapidash in my hand, so getting a little worried, but whether I want to work towards getting 2 energy or 3 energy to work towards Nidoqueen. Queen's Call is really what this entire deck revolves around, even though it's called Relentless Flame. Charizard is definitely strong and burns through his own health just to constantly do damage, but a Nidoqueen with a full board of evolved Pokemon does more damage than Charizard does. As such, I don't really want to fill up with Farfetch'd, because Farfetch'd doesn't evolve in this deck, so it doesn't contribute to Power Lariat. Let's hope for a Rapidash. Nope. Does the job anyway. Alright, now we've got Queen's Call, and it works for any Pokemon in your deck. Basic, evolution, etc. So we can now... Looks like my other Nidoqueen is in the prize pile, so there's no point rushing a second Nidoqueen. Oh no, it's in my hand. I should have actually probably focused on the Nidoqueen instead. That way I can draw 2 Pokemon every turn straight out of my deck. But we're probably expecting the opponent to fold before I get to that. There's another misplay there where I should have played this first and pulled 2. I'm getting used to it again. I haven't played this in, I don't know, a year. But it's still fairly fresh in my mind. What I really should have done is pulled Rapidash and evolved it. Doing this while talking, I guess, is more distracting than I thought, but there's no point putting any energy on Charmander, because Charizard will just use its Roaring Resolve to put 2 energy on itself. Now you can preload the energy and not take the damage if you really want, but I think it's more efficient to get Nidoqueen's energy up. And let's see. Yeah, let's Rapidash. Zero damage. Alright. Queen's Call. Charmeleon. Yeah, much more efficient would have been evolving Nidoran that turn, then Nidoqueen, and then next turn I could have drawn twice, got Charmeleon out, the other Charmander out, and then just 2 turns from now I have full board, all evolved, 2 Charizards. Once the Charizards are out, we can just pull energy out of the deck so it's not in the way, and draw more interesting, useful cards. Yeah, I'm going to Cynthia now, because I can draw the Nidoqueen with this next turn, play it, and then use it to draw. I was hoping for a Charmander, but we'll take that. Still not going to bother with Farfetch'd. Other than turn 1, turn 2, I really only find Farfetch'd necessary if you've got a real bad RNG, not pulled anything, and just need a sacrifice to tank for a turn or 2. What do we got here? What are we swapping? Nothing important, so... Alright, so I'll take minus 20, but I'm guaranteed at least 130. I can add my own energy this turn to add to 180, which won't be necessary, but Roaring Resolve, A, lets you just output tons of damage. 2, clears all that energy out of your deck. This also clears stuff out of your deck. Now, the only trade-off is that Blaze Ball will discard your energy. See, I should have pulled Needle Queen. Still didn't, and it doesn't really matter, because I'm already sort of in an unfair situation against this person who quite likely is still using the starter deck because they don't have any other decks, and they're sort of getting used to it, but they are going to encounter this Relentless Flame a lot. I encountered it twice when I was just doing my first dozen matches to get coins. So you can just do this every turn until you have less than 30 health, at which point it'll knock you out. And then this one can Queen's Call, and we will take Charmeleon. So any Pokemon that isn't basic, i.e. Stage 1 or Stage 2, will contribute to Power Lariat. With a full deck, I do, say if this one was evolved, I do another 50 damage. But as it is, we'll do 200 already. 210 even, because there is 10 just as the base damage. Let's see. Ta-da! Now, the only worry might be having Relentless or Roaring Resolve burn all your energy. Well, somewhere in this deck is Brock, and Brock will put energy or Pokemon from your discard pile back into your deck. So, let's see if we can maybe pull that just to see it. Nope. Doesn't matter. Alright, we're at max Power Lariat. I could have continued to use Queen's Call to pull junk Pokemon out of my deck into my hand, again, just to improve my draw chances later. Just overall, this is a very strong deck. It puts out a lot of damage. Builds very quickly, has good card draw management. There's very few downsides to it. What are we on? Oh, we'll just finish this. The game is quite balanced, actually, so I won't say it's the strongest deck in the game. It will lose. There are, you know, just other people are better strategized with their own deck, or bad draws, or whatever you want to call it. It's always a randomized element to some degree, but it stands up well, and it's been a consistent deck for me for as long as I've played this game. And look at that. We got a pack of cards and some coins. Now, the only two in-game currencies are coins and tickets, I think. And it's free to play. There's no way to buy into it. There's no microtransactions within this. The best you could have towards that is buying packs and constructed decks in real life. And if you ever have, you found your little code inside it. Little TGC code in there, and you can redeem the codes here. Type it in or scan it if you want. And it'll give you a booster from that set. It won't have the exact same cards in the booster because they're randomized. But it will give you the same constructed decks. I think they keep it fairly up to date. I'm not sure if the most recent decks are in, but they could be. I haven't bought them and I haven't checked, so. But the shop has many, many, many cards and decks and booster packs and other accessories, vanity items, avatar items. None of which I've ever really paid attention to. But yeah, there are trainer challenges where you can level up these decks and get so many wins and add to the cards. Like there's 12 levels I can level up this Relentless Flame with, which will give me, you know, alternate deck box, vanity, and card sleeves and coins, I think. But this is all against the computer. You will get card packs out of the deal, but I don't find that the most interesting when I've already played through all this before. But you can jump right into the event matches with this deck. You can, once you have a good handle and understanding of it. Oh, if they're loading in, it can't be a bot. Oh, they are a guest player, though. They haven't made an account yet. But yeah, you don't even have to make an account. You can just download the program and just dive right in from that. And at some later date, you want to make an account with your name or whatever. I think it's part of the broader Pokemon Online services. But I mean, it's just a username and an email. It's not particularly important. See, I could have played Farfetch'd first and done his job of drawing, but again, there's so many tools in this to draw that you don't need it. Yes, everything's coming up great. All right, Rapidash, Narina. Now I just need one more energy, and it's the turn to Rapidash Dream. Now, one benefit of going second would be that I could attack immediately with Rapidash. But, well, semi-immediately. It's still turn 2, but beautiful. And sure. Untouchable. Charizard is the poster child for this deck. Nidoqueen is the backbone of it, but Rapidash is probably my favorite card in this. Just how handy that is all the time. And we've got Nidoqueen. Okay. Can't get heads every round, but 50% of the time is still a lot, and I've had games where a complete turnaround has happened because I've had, 3 or 4 heads in a row, and the enemy Charizard just can't do anything. Meanwhile, I've done 180 damage. Alright, we can just Queen's Call every turn now. I'm tempted. Nope, my other Nidoqueen is in the prize pile this time. It's not in my hand. So, we'll just build Charizard. This deck does not have any healing. Doesn't have any attachment cards or equipment, I don't think. So you're basically reliant on Brock to put everything back in. Can we see Brock? Yeah. Brock's Grit. Shuffle 6 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy. So once you've burned through all your energy, or what have you. Oh, there's Brock's Grit there. The 2 Brock's Grits in this deck basically double your deck. Oh, I'm paralyzed, am I? Okay. We could just switch then. We're not doing max power Lariat, but 160 is enough to knock out 90% of the cards. It could knock out a opposing Nidoqueen. Actually, you only need half since it's weak to Psychic. It's always seemed weird that Psychic and Poison are the same thing in this, but I understand it just from the state of keeping things simple. What do we want? Now, we could have pulled Charizard, but by doing this, I add another 50 damage, since I now have another evolved Pokemon. I have 4. I can't have 5, because Farfetch'd is in the way. Oh, Nidoqueen is in my hand. I guess I pulled it from the prize pile. I won't say this is a don't pay attention deck, because it is, and obviously you've seen me make several misplays, but it's not terribly punishing if you do, because there's lots of different routes you can take to get to what you're trying to do. Oh, we're in trouble a little bit. How much does that do? That has 140 health. Well, I'm going to put you out. And I didn't check, but I'm hoping both my Charizards are in the prize pile. But I can... Nope, there they both are. We can now evolve Charizard. Do 130 with Roaring Resolve. Add 1 more to make it 180. And I'm not going to Brock's Grit yet. It's tempting to put that back in, but wait till I've discarded these 3 energy. And then I can put the energy back in if I really want. But there was, what, 10 energy left in the deck still? We'll do that. One, just to get them out of my deck, so I'm not drawing them. Because really I want energy at this point. That's another reason to use Queen Skull, even if you don't need it. Just gets one extra card out of your deck into your hand. They're not doing any good in your deck. You do have to keep an eye on the number of cards so you don't mill yourself, but you can put stuff back in with Brock's Grit. Six energy remain. Sure. Like, there's a lot of card draw options in here. Shuffle your hand in. Cynthia also shuffles your hand in. Copycat lets you draw more, shuffles your hand in and does it. There's this, there's nest balls. Let's Brock's Grit just to get the team back together. And I've got another one for next turn if I want more energy in there, but there isn't going to be a next turn. Because either they're going to concede or I'm going to do 180 damage. And now, I think I've got time for one more in me. I'd like to play against someone who isn't playing Mental Might if possible. Am I still in low enough tiers in however the matchmaking works in this that I'm still getting people who haven't bought a deck yet? Because, I mean, you get 250 coins from the tutorial, which you can't skip. And then just, you know, these three and like 2 wins here will give you enough coins, usually, to buy it if you're lucky. And if you're not lucky, oh, maybe 2 more wins after that. That said, playing against Relentless Flame is... Oh, we're playing against Relentless Flame. Speaking, it shall appear. I do want to go first. I don't want to bet too heavily on turn 2 Rapidash. This is a lot of energy in my hand and nothing else. This could backfire. Let's see how someone else plays Relentless Flame. Yeah, see, they're playing Farfetch'd as intended. But then again, I don't have a Farfetch'd. Can they resist the urge to not attack? I may lose this one. I can see it just from the starting hand. Their board is built up quick, and I've got nothing to work with. Once Nidoqueen is out, you can't rely on luck to give you a chance to build up. You're basically at their whim. Because they can pull what they need whenever they want, or at the very least clear their deck out to increase their chances of pulling what they need. Now, are they going to go for the second Nidoqueen first, or rush Charizard because Charizard's fun? They're rushing Charizard. Or maybe they have all the other cards they need in the hand already. Now, how could I possibly win this? Rapidash flipping 4 heads. But this Ponyta is not going to survive. This Nidoqueen is going to destroy it post-haste. Power Lariat already has 110 damage. Even if I pull a Nidoqueen and then can evolve Ponyta, I can only do, what, 60 damage? So I'm not going to beat that. We'll have to either sacrifice whatever basic ones we get out, or we're going to lose. And I think we're going to lose. Okay, Timer Ball. Nope. Now, if we got in one head, we could have had Nidoqueen and then put a Rapidash out. Wouldn't have made a difference. But if I had 2 energy on a Rapidash, Rapidash could have maybe gotten agility heads and just been able to stand in the way for as long as luck would let her. And that's game. But that is what can happen if you don't get a good, or at least acceptable draw early on. You will just have to compete with the steamroll that is the other Relentless Flame. We're just going to click done, let them finish it, have the satisfaction. You can't always concede from this menu. But in the end, they did only knock 2 of my Pokemon out, 3 here. I just never had anything else on the board I could play. I feel like that was a good look at Relentless Flame. It's probably my all-time favorite deck. I will play other decks as I go, as I'm doing quests and whatnot, but I always find that I end up coming back to this. This is just the deck I'm most practiced with and most comfortable. Challenges, right? Well, I've done them all, but you get challenges that level up the different types. It just gives you deck boxes and coins, like the coin you flip to see who goes first and stuff. So it's not important, but it's just something to do in the game. Another time, might do one of the event queues. Haven't done any yet. They do cost tickets. Theme decks are good. Most of this game revolves around the theme decks. There are standard and expanded, like where you make your own deck or modify decks. They got to do something with all these cards they give you. Actually, let's draw some of... Where is it? It's under collection. Just the packs they've already given me that I haven't opened yet. From doing those daily wins and just the first things, and they give you a pack for completing the tutorial. Well, VMAX. All right. Thank you. Talk to you next time. Bye.